Is the Voyah 3 a good start of Voyah, or well, Dongfeng, in Europe? My name is Bastiaan and welcome to Recharging. It is pretty obvious, this car is a Voyah. And Voyah is one of the 3 car brands Dongfeng brings to Europe. And of course they start with a big crossover SUV. The Voyah 3 is 4.9 meters, which makes it a competitor for the XPeng G9, the Kia EV9 and in terms of size, even the BMW iX. Voyah keeps it really simple though, at least here in the Netherlands, because there is only one version. You get all-wheel drive, 0 to 100 in 4.4 seconds and a top speed of 200 kilometers per hour. So the Voyah 3 is a big car, and that also shows in the boot, because the boot has a capacity of 560 liters. And if you fold down the rear seats, which you cannot do from the boot itself, so that means with such a big car you always have to walk to your rear doors, it has a capacity of 1320 liters. And you can at least fit a stroller and 2 suitcases in this boot. Besides that, there is a 12-volt socket in the boot, and probably because there's also a version available with an internal combustion engine, there is no space under the boot floor, so that really makes me wonder, does it have a frunk? Yes, there is, and quite a big one actually, 72 liters, and yes, it is hauled up by a cheap string. Just look at me sitting on the rear seats. What more can I say? The seat in front of me is in my typical driving position. I am 1 meter and 85 centimeters and I have plenty of space everywhere. The car is also wide, there is plenty of space here, so sitting here with 3 people, no problem. Besides that, there is a USB-A port, a USB-C port, flaps here to store stuff, and a armrest with 2 cup holders. So how does the Voyah 3 drives? Well, it drives like what it is, a big SUV. And this is a good thing because sometimes cars from China don't drive like what they are. So that means a big SUV, the steering is too light, the braking is too light. But in this car, it's good. Yeah, I like it. Don't expect anything sporty because it isn't. It is just a very comfortable ride. Yes, when you take a corner with a higher speed, you do have plenty of grip, but the car doesn't feel at home while doing that. No, again, it is just a really comfortable and quiet cruiser. What helps with the comfortable ride is the standard air suspension. And what is also cool is that, like many cars that have air suspension, when you drive on the highway or you want to get in or out, the air suspension does lower for a better ride and better efficiency on the highway, or so you can get out easier. Again, really cool. And what about the driving position then? Well, there is plenty of adjustment in the seat and the steering wheel. The seat itself is also really comfortable. Besides that, you can put the seat nice and low, which gives you a great driving position if you ask me. The only thing is that the seat itself is a bit short. It is probably designed for the average Asian people. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. You are smaller than we are here in the West. So that means if you are taller than me, I am 1 meter and 85 centimeters, you do have less support for your legs and this may get uncomfortable. You have to try it for yourself. Besides that, visibility all around is okay, and to help with visibility, there is a 360 camera. If you would fit a tow hook, this car can tow 2000 kilos, and that is actually really good. And that brings me to more good, but also bad stuff in the good, the lovely, the bad and the ugly. As standard, you get a battery pack with a whopping 100 kilowatt hours. In other markets there is also a 88 kilowatt hour version available, and I think it would be good to also bring that version to Europe to lower the starting price. Yes, this is the first production car with a movable dashboard. But anyway, this is also one of the first Chinese cars that I review without too many noticeable Chinese car quirks in the software. Yes, the software isn't that fancy, but it does have support for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I can put the climate control on 21 or 20 degrees Celsius instead of 24, 25, and there aren't too many beeps and bongs. The regen when you lift your foot off the accelerator is not great. In eco mode it is okay, but in every other drive mode it is too weak. And yes, it is linked to your drive mode. You cannot set it separately. Oh, and there is no one pedal drive. The maximum fast charging speed is 100 kilowatts. That means that charging this 100 kilowatt hour battery pack from 10 to 80% will take you 55 minutes. That is not acceptable anymore. Voyah claims for this car with the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack a WLTP range of 500 kilometers. And according to Voyah, this is a conservative number, but they want to communicate something that you can basically always reach, unless it is winter, of course. Well, during my test period, it was not winter, no, it is summer at the moment. That means temperatures from 20 degrees Celsius in the evening all the way up to 33 degrees Celsius during the day. Yeah, it's freaking hot. And I can tell you that 500 kilometers is a conservative number, because I can easily go well over 500 with this car. And if you want to know the full details, then watch my range test up here. So Voyah, it is really not a crime to communicate a higher number than that 500 kilometers. And besides the terrible fast charging, it does have support for vehicle to load, it does precondition the battery when navigating to a fast charger, and you can do it manually in the infotainment system. According to Voyah, the car in China is a competitor for BMW, Audi, etc. But looking at the interior, I would say it is more a competitor for an Xpeng. That means it is better than average, but it lacks premium. But the car is also cheaper than premium, so it is justified. But overall, it is a nice place to be in and everything feels solidly made. And being a Chinese car, it is also full of features. That means you have heated, ventilated and massage seats. There can also be a fragrance through the climate control. The car has a night vision camera, you name it. Then what about cubby space? Your door pockets do fit a 1 liter bottle and more. Under the center armrest is a pretty big cubby. There are 2 cup holders here with a slidey thing. Under the center console is a pretty huge space, and your glove box is of a decent size. As I have already mentioned, the software of the infotainment system, it's fine. It's not fancy, but it is responsive, so again, it's fine. And Voyah is continuously improving it, so it can only get better. And I am using Android Auto most of the time anyway. But there is a thing that Voyah cannot fix with a software update, and that is the position of the screen, because this is my driving position and I cannot reach the screen from my driving position, so I have to lean forward. And especially for the right side of the screen, it's a bit too far away in my opinion. But there are physical buttons here for your climate control, so that is nice. Oh, and there is another thing, because here in the center console is a touchpad. So I thought, cool, a touchpad, I can control my infotainment system with that. But no, you can't. The only thing that you can do with it at the moment is volume up and down and previous and next song. I mean, really, just give me a knob for that. And as you have already seen, just like in the Xpeng G9, there is a third screen for the passenger. In the Xpeng G9, the screen had a special coating, so the driver couldn't look at it. As a passenger, I could make a separate Bluetooth connection with my own headphones, so I could listen and the driver couldn't hear it. I had YouTube, I had Netflix, but here, none of that. The driver can see it just fine, not really that safe. Besides that, I have daily motion and I can watch a video from a USB stick. For me personally, this at the moment is pretty useless. Wait, there is one Chinese car quirk though, and that is that I cannot activate the cruise control above 130 kilometers per hour. I really don't get why this is with Chinese cars. I can understand a little bit that the auto steer may not work above 130 kilometers per hour, but normal cruise control, come on. So how happy does the Voyah 3 makes me? Does it make me cry, sad, smile or grin? Well, the Voyah 3 makes me a bit sad for Voyah, because as their first car in Europe, it is not necessarily a bad car, although the fast charging is terrible, they really need to fix that. But it doesn't really stand out either. Most things that this car does the competition equal or a little bit better. And that was the end of the review. Thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And then as always, to be continued.